Alright, what's going on, guys? It's Convoy here. Welcome back to some more Call of Duty Ghosts Wii U gameplay. Thanks for joining me. Today I'm on Warhawk again. I got the FPG shotgun and I'll be running around with all the mobility perks as always, trying to get up in the enemy spawn, trying to just rush the heck out of the enemies. And this is actually the first gameplay, or one of the first gameplays that I was actually recording with the FPG shotgun. And I gotta tell you guys, this gun is probably one of my favorites in the game, and I just figured it out that day. Like, I didn't really use it too much, didn't really try out the shotguns too much, but I popped this gun on and I instantly fell in love with it almost. Like, this gun just fits my playstyle really well. It has pretty decent range. You put the muzzle brake on it and you can pretty much go to work, and you'll see in this gameplay I actually almost pick up a chem strike. I fall short a little bit, getting a sticky situation, and got a little bit too hyper and bit off more than I could chew in terms of, you know, pulling off the chem strike. But you'll see what happens. You'll see also a guy on the other team. If you saw my last video, it was a pretty insane streak that I went on in the last video, but there was a guy in this lobby who was accusing me of hacking, and he eventually left the lobby after this game, which was, like I said, if you saw my last video, that was the match actually after this one. So I was playing with the FPG shotgun for about an hour and a half and just tearing things up with it. Like, I don't know what it is, but that's something I always got to give props to Infinity Ward. They do make the better shotguns, even though I may not necessarily agree with their Call of Duty decisions. Sometimes, you know, I think Treyarch makes the better Call of Duty in general, but, you know, I think shotguns in, you know, Infinity Ward games are completely monstrous. I love all the shotguns in every single game, back from Modern Warfare 2 when they were secondaries all the way up to Ghosts. But, you know, either way, this shotgun's really good. I was using it a little bit and just going to town. Like I said, I almost pulled off a chem strike here, fell short, and then I choked towards the end. It's kind of funny how bad this gameplay falls apart afterwards. Now, like I said, going back to this guy on the other team, he was accusing me of using invincibility codes for this match. Afterwards, after the game, he was saying, you know, I could pretty much turn on and off my codes whenever I pleased, and he just wasn't making a lot of sense in general. I eventually, you know, you guys would say I'm a pretty calm guy generally. You know, I don't like really getting into conflict or anything like that. I just kind of stay to myself or whatever, but I had to pop in my microphone for this, or not really a microphone, but I just had to get my iPhone headphone things, and they have the built-in microphone, so I was using that a little bit, and I had to find them, go all over the house. So this guy pretty much made me that mad that he made me get off the couch, you know, get out of my lazy mode and look for my headphones, and I found them, started talking to this guy who just wasn't making a whole lot of sense, and I was like, if I had invincibility hacks, why would I turn them off, you know, 2 off a Moab or 2 off a chem strike? Because I died, I think, 22-0, 23-0, something like that. And he was just saying, you know, I play with people who hack all the time, I play with clans who hack all the time, it's very easy to hack this console, and he just wasn't making a whole lot of sense, like I was saying. I think he was mid-20s, I would probably say, in age. This is the part where he accused me of hacking, right? So I have a ballistic vest on here, and I still have it on. If you see, I still have the green tint glow in the bottom, you know, in the corners. I still have it on right here. Should I? I don't know. I mean, I've taken a lot of damage. I took a Semtex even, and these guys just keep coming up the steps, but I still have the vest on, and you'll see that I have the vest on pretty much until I die, and that's what I keep doing. I keep getting enough points to put down more ballistic vests to once again get the maximum, you know, ballistic vest energy. There it goes. There's no more green tint around my screen anymore. But this guy was saying, here's where I die. I make a pretty bad decision trying to go out there and shoot that guy. I should have just ran away. But this guy was saying that he hit me with 2 Semtex, he hit me with a lot of bullets, and I wasn't dying. So he accused me of, you know, invincible hacks and all that stuff. And don't get me wrong, I can understand where he's coming from, because maybe he doesn't run into players who go 22-0 really quickly into the match, you know, 4 or 5 minutes in. I'm not saying, you know, I'm some sort of beast player or anything like that, but it just so happens that this game was going good for me, you know. I guess he just wasn't used to seeing players, like I said, tear it up, so to say, for a little bit. But in the same sense, he was pretty much uneducated to know that there aren't any hacks out for the Wii U yet, at least from my knowledge, in terms of these games. If you look at the Wii, and then if you go back to here, it's completely different. Like, Wii hacking codes were so accessible in this game, and on the Wii U console, there aren't any hacks out yet. At least from what I know. There probably are a few people who know how to hack a Wii U, pretty smart geniuses, but from my knowledge, you know, there aren't any hacks out for this. But this guy was just, you know, accusing me of hacking, so kind kind of put in my microphone, like I said, was arguing with him a little bit. All in all, you know, I just thought it was pretty funny. If you guys ever get accused of hacking, it's pretty much like the ultimate compliment, you know, if you take Call of Duty, I guess, seriously. Or, I mean, to me, I kind of just brushed it off, you know, I didn't really care. But, you know, if you actually take that to heart, I guess it could be a compliment, you know. People saying you're hacking even when you're not, you know, it could be a good compliment. I think we played the next match on Storm or something like that, and I went like 14-12 or some bad score, and he was like, you're still hacking. I'm like, 14-12, dude? If I was hacking, I'd be 50-0 right now. Like, just kind of stupid things that don't make sense. But either way, like I said, it's pretty much an ultimate compliment. In the end, I didn't really care what this guy thought I was doing, but I just wanted to see what you guys thought. And for those who do know a little bit more about me, about codes and hacking and stuff, are there codes out for the Wii U yet? Have people hacked the Wii U? I mean, I'm sure they're probably looking into it, but I don't think there isn't a homebrew channel type thing. There isn't some sort of like accessible cheat code things that you can just put in like it used to be on the Wii, because this game would be running rampant with hackers like the other, you know, Call of Duty games on the Wii. But let me know if you guys know anything about that. I don't really care, I'm just curious. One of the funniest things this guy was saying is like, yeah, I know where you can hack the console, I know websites where you can get the code. And I was like, alright, really? Tell me. And he's like, nope, because you're going to use the hack. So pretty much he was just making that up, I'm pretty sure. But that's just my story, guys. If you enjoyed the video, that would be great if you guys could leave a comment or leave a like, letting me know what you guys thought about it. Thanks for watching. Final score I think was 27-8. You know, I was 22-0, and then it kind of fell apart because I was just kind of upset I didn't get the chem strike. But it's all good. And I'll leave you with this guy accusing me of hacking. You can hear him in the microphone. It took my headset out. So thanks for watching. Have a good day, guys. Peace.
Icon boy, guess what? You better run from the lobby because we're reporting you.
Icon boy.
Icon boy.
Icon boy, yeah, you can tell.
Even if he was on your team, Evil Domo, you could tell he was cheating. It's not just that, Evil Domo, it's that I hit him with 2 different stem techs in a row, and he still didn't die. That's impossible. Even with ICU, that's impossible. So everybody go to Icon Boy and report him for cheating.
Everybody just...
Who?